You're about to meet a guy who credits his turnaround in life to a cat. Things were far from perfect back in 2019, but now in his Bengal cat named Mia are social media stars. I'm talking over 100 million views of their possum adventures. And he is here today to help us bring out the best in our cats too. Please give pause and applause to the creator of Outdoor Bengal, a real Catmandu, Albert Colominas. Welcome, Albert.
Thank you for having me here, Arden. I'm super pumped to be here with you today and share a little bit of our story.
Well, I am too, because, life sometimes slaps us down, but you got to get back up. I mean, cats have 9 lives. It sounds like back in 2019, that's not going to be one of your favorite years ever, was it?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Not for me, not for many people, but I had a rough one for myself that year. Yeah.
Well, we're going to go bummer and then we're going to go sensational. So tell us, people, what happened in 2019, because you're from Barcelona, correct?
Yes, I'm from Barcelona, and the story started with an adventure. So my life in Barcelona was kind of easy, kind of comfortable. I had a girlfriend, I had a beautiful job, and I was like, it's maybe even too comfortable. So I wanted to go on an adventure, and with my partner, we decided to move to the US, and we could make it happen, which per se was a huge achievement. But then arriving to the US, 1 month later, we break up. So
How do you say bummer in Italian? I mean, Spanish.
In Spanish. I don't know. I would swear for sure, and I don't know if I can swear.
Yeah. So that was a bummer. Yeah. And then I'm sorry to hear your father passed.
Yeah. So the year started not with the strongest vibes. And a few months after I was going through the breakup, and a few months after my dad suddenly passed, and that just crushed me. And I was going over these 2 losses, a partner and a dad, and then COVID hit. So it was like the perfect storm.
Yeah. So I understand you stayed at home, but you shaved your head.
Yeah, I did. So it's funny because there was a bunch of people that, because you're not going out anymore, we did not know when we were going to go out. We, like, a bunch of people started doing crazy stuff at home, and all of a sudden you shave. And I shaved my beard, which I usually don't, and then I shaved my head. And lucky me, I was not going out. But yeah. You go from a solid 6 to a solid 4. So
you're not a 6. You're the cat's 9+. Well, but all right. So that's all the bad part. But you are a survivor. So you said to yourself, I think I need to get a cat, and not just any kind of cat, a cat that has a lot of energy, a Bengal. Have you ever had a Bengal cat before in your life, Albert?
I never had a cat at all in my life, and I'm in fact allergic to cats.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, it's super fun. So what happened is that I was completely miserable. I was in a very dark place, and working crazy hours with lockdown, with this bag of losses in my back that I was carrying around.
What kind of work were you doing?
I'm a marketeer. So I do marketing for a living on consumer goods. And I love my work, but it's very demanding. And when you're not at your best, it can come crashing down on you, because the expectation is very high. And when you're not at 100%, the pressure of work really, really settles. So I was working a ton of hours, carrying my backpack around, and I called my mom and I'm like, listen, I either come back and call this a failure or I get a cat. And she was like, but you're allergic to cats. And I'm like, that's a different problem. That's a problem for the Albert of tomorrow. If we don't agree that getting a cat might be a good idea. And listen, I'm 35, but I still go to my mom for advice. So I'm like,
there's nothing wrong with that. Real men love moms and real men love cats. So
yeah, absolutely love both. And I was like, I think I need some help. And I decided to get a cat. And then a whole adventure started in terms of understanding if I could get over my allergies, if there were breeds that were better than others that I could withstand better. Male versus female cats, which one has more FeLD1 protein. And I started learning everything about cat
well, that FeLD1 for folks out there, that's kind of the marker that says whether they're going to be making you sneeze a lot, right?
Yep, exactly.
That's our medical interpretation. It's the sneeze gene.
So that's the protein that cats have that produces allergy to most people.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing some research and I got to the determination that there was not really a solution for cat allergies. And then I learned that that's not really true, but that's a story for a different day. But one thing that I learned is this thing about hypoallergenic cats.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of marketing about it. And I have my hesitations on calling them this way right now, because after what I've learned, hypoallergenic cat doesn't really exist. But it's true that there are some breeds and some particular families and lineages of cats that might have less of this protein that creates the allergy. And I learned that Bengal cats sometimes are within this family of less allergy producing cats. So I decided to go for a Bengal, not before like finding people online that had Bengal cats. And I just hopped into their homes and be like, let me hang out with your cat for a bit and see if I can survive the experience. And I did. So I decided to get a Bengal cat. And
those cats traditionally are not cats that like to just sit on the sofa, are they?
They are not. And I think that I did not do my due diligence well enough when I decided to get a Bengal. I was happy with the non-allergy producing DNA. And I was also very happy with the spots. And I was like, this looks like good enough for me. Spots, non-allergy, I'll get this cat. And then I learned that, oh man, like all cats need an enrichment, but Bengal cats are one of a kind. So I got faced with a challenge.
So Mia, what was she like? Because I jokingly say, Albert, I've written 27 dog and cat books, and one of them is the cat behavior answer book, which I'm not Oprah, but after the show, I'm going to mail an autographed copy to you.
Please do.
And there's Casey made the cover, so that's cool. But I say that the first year you have with a kitten is called the wonder year. You wonder where your sanity goes. Now, multiply that by 1 million, and that's growing up with a kitten, a Bengal kitten named Mia, right?
Absolutely. She would reach places I did not know cats would reach, and she was tiny. And I could find her on top of a fridge, and I'm like, there's no way she can get out on the fridge. Like there's no material way that she could possibly use to get on top of the fridge, but she was there. Or she would disappear for 4, 5, 6 hours, and then I would realize that under the couch she had crawled underneath, poked a hole into the sofa, and just made the sofa her own hammock. Like she was destructive she was destructive in ways I could not have imagined, and she was demanding for my attention all the time.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life. Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content. Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life.